Still in news from the hospital, yesterday, Wednesday, the Ministry of Health accepted a 40-foot container of medical supplies. According to the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, the effort is one which began almost 5 years ago and involved a number of partners. Mrs. Mirthlin Parry, who also became intimately involved, explained the history of the effort.
Dr. Nevis was the one who brought Dr. Wayne Bosala, a dentist, to my office. And we spoke about his interest in getting the container here because, as Dr. Bosala related, I think he had gone to the hospital with a son who was ailing, and he realized that the hospital was in need of some equipment, and so he took it upon himself he became interested in trying to help. And about 2008-9, we've been working back and forth with Global Links trying to raise their money to bring the container to Nevis. And Dr. Bosala, we want to thank him.
The container was from a company called Global Links and was furnished as a result of communication between the hospital staff and Global Links. Mrs. Parry also noted that a needs assessment form was submitted by Development Projects Foundation, Inc. in May of 2009. The item list shows a variety of supplies and equipment ranging from beds to filing cabinets to drugs to linen. Minister of Health, the Honorable Hensley Daniel, expressed thanks to all of the persons involved in the acquisition of the items.
I want to remind us that just about less than 2 months ago, the Circle of Care, which is a unit of the Nevis Association in Canada, provided us with over $40,000 of equipment for the senior citizens home at the flamboyant home. And Global Faith Alliance, led by Dr. Lehman Bates, was here last year with a large amount of supplies for the hospital. And now we have the Development Projects Foundation, which is a grouping or a coming together of local and foreign interests, and providing us with $106,117.32 US of supplies. And I want to make the point, while I speak to the question of gratitude, that we are not the most deserving hospital, because I am very certain that there are several hospitals in Haiti who is in greater need of these supplies. Latin America and several other countries, and that is in that context I would want us to take care of the supplies and be grateful for the institutions that are still looking in our direction.
Minister Daniel then handed the keys to the container to Medical Chief of Staff at the hospital, Dr. John Essien. Dr. McGeed, one of the persons who was instrumental in the container getting to Nevis, said he was honored to be involved in the project.
I just would like to say that I'm honored to be able to work with you guys in helping the Alexandria Hospital. I was one of the patients, and I was very impressed with the service there. The nurses are excellent, the administration is great, but the hospital needs more equipment, and even if you have the best doctors, the best doctor cannot do anything unless we have proper equipment.
The ceremony took place at the conference room at the Alexandra Hospital and was attended by a number of medical officials as well as media persons. And finally, the federal government is taking further steps to combat crime. A draft legislation to intercept communications on private and public networks with the approval of a High Court judge will soon be heading for the federal parliament. The cabinet earlier this week discussed and approved the Interception of Communication Bill for introduction into the parliament for the creation of a single legal framework within which the interception of communications on private and public networks would be responsibly authorized by a High Court judge. Minister of Information, Senator the Honorable Nigel Carty, said some legislation already exists, such as the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2002, which makes some provision for unauthorized interception. But the Interception of Communication Bill is setting the stage for a new and comprehensive regime of interception of communications by mobile phones, fixed line phones, telegraphs, wireless networks and devices, mail-in systems, including parcels and couriers, and other means of communication. He said that the Interception of Communication Bill will provide public authorities with the scope within the law to intercept the communications of targeted suspects and help solve crimes which hitherto have remained difficult to unravel. That's how we end this evening's presentation of the Nevis Newscast. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Good night.